In news, my lovely, wonderful people, it is happening. Nigerian Senate. So, my lovely people, this is exactly what is going on. Nigerian Senate set to enforce the use of Nigerian-made vehicle for government procurement. Now, this is what we should have done, and guess what? It will help and enhance the build-up of our economy. Innocent vehicles, in the East and other people who are into, making of vehicles, we have them in Nigeria. And guess what? They are doing their hardest best possible. But our government is not patronizing them. We'll rather go to Germany, we will rather go to other countries and get Peugeot and get all the luxury cars without patronizing our cars. Have you heard that the Germans came to Nigeria to buy innocent motors? Or have you heard that China comes to Nigeria to buy, apart from our raw materials that they are struggling with us with? Can you see exactly what is going on? But it's good that they are beginning to look into this. One of the things that happened while Peter Obi was the governor of, Anambra State, was that he insisted on using the vehicles made, in Nigeria, back in the East. And, that boosts the economy, which will lead to employment, which will lead to, the GDP of that economy rising. And, people who are producing those spare parts will also, business will boom. If we begin, look, for instance, in Nigeria, we import toothpick. Oh, you are not aware. Go and investigate. Toilet paper, and we have a lot of forest all around. Toilet paper we import. So if they are doing this, they should live by example by starting. But let's get to the news. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Senate set to enforce use of Nigeria-made vehicles for government procurement. A bill seeking to compel ministers, departments, and agencies, MDAs, to patronize the purchase of Nigeria-made vehicles has passed a second reading in the Senate. Lead Nigeria gathered that the bill, titled Local Automobile Industry Patronage Bill 2025, is sponsored by the lawmaker representing North, Senator Patrick Unazube. Unazube introduced the bill on October 2024, and it passed its first reading before advancing to the second stage, leading the debate on the bill during plenary. Unazube emphasized the negative impact of Nigeria over dependence on imported automobile, which he proclaimed weakens the naira and undermine local industries. Any country that aims to achieve stability, a stable economy, and development must have a policy that encourages the products, that encourages and provide a framework for local production. It is also important that goods and services are produced locally, as it rapidly affects the economy and reduces importation and rise in export expenditure for the nation. He argued that Nigeria has failed in industrializing the use of indigenous brand, instead glorifying foreign products of no superior value. NWC pointed out that the continuous decline in the naira, worsened by inflation, could be stemmed and stopped by providing and supporting the local automobile industry for starters. The senator highlighted the deposit of 54 automobile manufacturing licenses being issued in Nigeria. Only 6 companies remain operational due to foreign exchange shortage and poor infrastructure. He revealed that many Nigerian automobile firms have moved from operation to they've moved their operation from Nigeria to Ghana. Ghanaians are patronizing our own local automobile while we have abandoned them. Where now they have moved to Ghana to establish. What does that mean? Ghana economy will be more improved, creating jobs for Ghanaians around that area, which could have been done in Nigeria, where they establish their plants and they carry out their markets. We need to encourage our own. NWC pointed out, how do we stem the free fall of the naira if we cannot address an appetite of foreign goods that us, the minister, continue to do? The government must aim at producing and patronizing our very own products? How do we support the development of indigenous brand in the biggest and with the biggest spenders at the government? Year on year on, the government refused to buy made in Nigeria goods. Things will never move forward if we continue in this way. The BC proposed that at least 75% of the vehicle procured by the public officers and civil servants be locally manufactured, not just assembled but manufactured. This is the first step to saving our economy, protecting our currency, and creating jobs for our people, he said. He further stated that only firms with at least 70% Nigeria enforced, 75% local researched and developed R&D spends and advance in technology, such as robotic planting machines and economic viability will expand. The system will grow and our locally made products will be known all over the world if we continue to encourage our own. And the government supporting local industries should be seen as both strategic and important, a long-term investment and a national security imperative, Ndubisi added. Citing the example of China, India, and Malaysia, Ndubisi noted that these countries banned importation of cars in their early years to foster their domestic automobile industries, which has now encouraged their economy to grow. Go to China and see some of the best cars. This is what is happening. He pointed out that today these nations have perfected their process and Nigerians now import their products, some of which are completely not as good as even made in Nigeria products. The Senate Chief Whip representing Borno Central, Senator Mohammed Mogunu, expressed support for the bill, noting that it will provide legal backing for an existing directive by the federal government and the Federal Council on the use of local products. This law will install the direction of where Nigeria will go to, and other senators also back the bill. The bill is set on making sure that we create jobs for our engineers and those in the automobile, which will encourage robotic and move the nation forward, to encourage more investors to come into Nigeria to assemble and produce this item. So my guys, what do you think? Leave us a comment. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. God bless. Bye for now.